The purpose of this presentation is to give the top 10 uses of Chromebooks for teaching and learning at Durlston Court. Number 1 is feedback, highly regarded as the most impactful teaching strategy out there. Here we have an example of a piece of writing produced by a Year 4 child and comments made in response to reading that piece of work. On its own, nothing especially different from using an old-fashioned exercise book, but within the software we can actually see how the document has adapted and changed over time as a response to that feedback. Here is Oliver's first draft. This is the second one where the comments were then made, and as a result of the feedback that he was given, he was able to produce this final piece. This is something that inspectors are looking at as evidence for how impactful feedback has been on the children's learning. Number 2 is collaborative and peer learning. Here we have a presentation produced by 3 children working in the document simultaneously. They have also received feedback from their peers. The suggestion here to add an apostrophe, the actual word related is highlighted, and then the children can act on the feedback given to them by their peers. This encourages the children to think like teachers and then reassess their own work as a result. Number 3 is parental engagement. Here we have a Year 4 website created off the back of their Viking narrative writing. Each child created their own story and back cover. Parents were sent the link to the website where they could access their child's story and then leave video feedback to everyone on how they thought the website had come across. This really engaged the parents and got them buying into the system as a whole. At number 4, we have the use of Google Classroom to organise and collate assignments. This is the Year 7 Common Entrance Geography coursework classroom, where the Head of Humanities has been able to organise and collect all the various bits of work that the children have completed for their project. At number 5, in the same vein, we have a slightly different Google Classroom, this time Year 8 Science Revision, where the Head of Science has been able to curate content so that the pupils preparing for their exams have been able to revise thoroughly. We've got video content, we've got pictures, and there have also been multiple choice quizzes created, self-marking, so that the children can easily identify where the gaps in their knowledge are. At number 6, we've been encouraging children to take more independence in their learning. This is a Padlet webpage for the Modern Calligraphy After School Club, where children have, during the course of the week, been finding images from the internet that they would then like to emulate during the After School Club itself. Number 7 is flipped learning, and this reverses the teaching sequence and allows children to watch videos ahead of the lesson to gain knowledge and understanding of the topic, so that when the lesson begins in real, then activities can be started earlier. Children watching the videos can see them as many times as they like, pausing and restarting as and when they feel comfortable. Number 8 again uses the Padlet website, this time for a slightly different purpose, which is giving every pupil a voice. This was the start of a geography lesson where pupils were able to make predictions over how they thought the climate in Chembercoley and Bournemouth would vary. By doing the activity using this method, it meant that every child, not just the most confident, were able to give their opinion and state their understanding. And number 9, we have accessibility. So children with specific learning needs can still access the same content as any other child. If I press play up here,
the Earth is tilted on its axis at an angle of about 25 degrees.
The slide will be dictated to them. Similarly, they can, if necessary, voice type anything that they want to into a document. And finally, we have e-portfolios, something that's in an early stage at the moment, but potentially would allow pupils to, as part of their application to senior schools, share a website stating their examples of learning and giving them a chance to reflect on how they have found particular tasks and things that they have succeeded in.